DeSoto and the DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Well, in spite of taxes and smog, here I am again with a chance for each of our couples to win up to $10,000. And if any of them say the secret word, they'll win an extra $100.
Well, Groucho will talk to our first couple right after this message from our sponsor. Groucho, we have some special guests to talk to you now.
Oh, that's nice.
They're Ginger.
That's nice.
And Ginger and Don Drysdale. And if they're...
Ginger snap?
Well, you'll find out. And in case there may be some isolated listener who has never heard of Don Drysdale, he just happens to be one of the greatest pitchers in the world today, and he happens to be playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well,
so,
hot
folks,
diggity.
Yes, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. Now, so you're a leading pitcher for the L.A. Dodgers, huh? I thought it was a girls' baseball team the way they finished last season. Where are you from, Ginger? Are you a California girl?
No, I was born in Covington, Georgia.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You're a wonderful advertisement for California. You're a local boy, aren't you, Don?
That's right, Groucho. I was born and raised in Van Nuys.
Where's that?
That's across the hills over there in the San Fernando Valley.
Oh, that was across the river from Cincinnati. How did you meet Don, Ginger, and where?
I've been an Adrian model for several years.
You've been
now.
a what?
An Adrian model. And so I was out at the Coliseum doing a story for the Mirror News.
You were a reporter? Girl reporter?
No, I was modeling.
You were modeling at the Coliseum?
Yes, I was
Was this while the game was on?
No, this was before. This was practice.
Oh. You were modeling with the ball players?
Yes.
Did you like
so
that?
anyway, as I started to say...
you haven't said anything yet.
I went down to the Coliseum.
You went to the Coliseum?
And Don was pitching there on the sideline.
He was on the sideline?
Yes.
Don't they allow him in the regular ballpark?
No, he was warming up on the sideline.
Oh.
So there he was, and
I'm not going to say a word.
That's the deal. And I nodded to him, and he nodded back, and later on we did some more pictures, and I investigated number 53 with Walt Austin, you know, the marital status and age of, you know.
How many teeth?
One. So anyway, he asked me for my phone number, and we went out, and 17 days later I talked him into getting engaged.
Does Ginger travel with you when you're on the road, Don?
No, she doesn't, Groucho. She stays at home.
Are you sick of her already?
No, that's just a rule that the club has that the wives don't travel with us, and I think it's a pretty good one.
Imagine leaving Ginger at home all alone for a month. And on top of that, losing all those ball games? How long have you been with the Dodgers, Don?
I've been in the Dodger organization for 5 years, and
Really?
I've been with the Dodgers for 3.
And how old are you?
22.
You were 19 when you signed for big league baseball?
Yes, 19 my first year in the major leagues.
Well, how could you be a ball player at that age? You weren't even old enough to shave on television.
Well, I actually...
Isn't that a requirement for all ball players?
No, it isn't, but actually...
Well, I watch the World Series. Seems to me as all they do is shave.
Well, they
It's
do.
the hairiest crowd I ever saw.
No, actually, I was 17 when I first signed. I signed right out of high school.
You just had fuzz. Huh?
That's right.
You only have about 18 or 20 years left in baseball. What are your plans for the future when you're a retired old man?
Well, Groucho, I'd like to get in some sort of phase of radio or television work having to
You
do
mean
with
a quiz
sports.
show?
No, I like kind of like a sports program or something like that. If
Shaving?
Well, that might be a commercial.
Now, how long have you been married?
2.5 months.
Precisely?
Almost.
Now, tell me about Ginger. Is she a good cook?
No.
Well, that's Drysdale for you. Another wild pitch. Are you going to let him get away with this, Ginger? Or do you want me to throw him out of the game?
Well, I guess I should admit it. I've only been cooking for 2.5 months. I mean, what can you expect?
You've been cooking for 10 weeks? You must be pretty well done by now, right? Do you ever criticize Don's pitching?
No, I try to leave baseball at the ballpark.
Well, you go out there?
Oh, yes, all the time.
All the time. How about when you're on the road and Ginger is back in L.A.? You can tell me, Don, just between us men, what goes on when you aren't wearing that leash?
Well, actually, Groucho, I'm pretty tired on the road, and I just usually try and get all the rest I can, watch television, see a few movies.
Don, I want to ask you something. Who's the toughest batter to pitch to in the National League?
Well, let's see. There's Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews and Stan Musial, Billy Bruton, Joe Adcock, Willie Mays, Ernie Banks, Dale Long, Walt Moran, Willie Jones, Lee Walls.
In other words, you can't pitch to anybody. That's quite a team you named there, by the way. You got plenty on the ball, and so has Ginger. And good luck to you and the Dodgers next season.
Oh,
Let's hope you finish at least in the first division.
Thank you very much, Groucho.
And that you get your 20 games next year.
Thank you.
Now, let's see if you can run your winning streak into $10,000. Now, you selected observation quiz. I'll ask you some questions. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. Now, how many white stripes are there on the American flag? If you don't know, guess.
I'll say 10.
There are 6.
Well, you have one wrong now.
Now, how many columns in a standard-sized newspaper?
How many would you say?
8.
8 is right.
You now have one right.
Give him a kiss. I give him a kiss.
I never met him before.
No, how do you do?
They say to kiss him is to know him. All right, whose picture is on the $5 bill?
Lincoln?
Abraham Lincoln.
You
I
now
had an
have,
uncle. He couldn't pronounce Lincoln. He always called it Lincoln.
you now have 2 right.
He was hung 2 years ago, huh? You got 2 right. Now, how many notes are there in an octave?
6.
8.
Now, what answer? Which do you want?
I'll say 8.
Typical ball player, counts on his fingers. 8 is right.
Then you have 3 right. Get the next one right, and you'll have $1,000.
I'll let you go from here.
On a standard telephone dial, what is the only letter not used?
What is the only letter not
Not
used?
used, yes. If you don't know, guess. There's only 24 letters in the alphabet. Guess.
Q.
Q is right.
And you have 4 in a row, and you win $1,000.
Lift her up. I want to see how strong. Well, you've won $1,000. Now, you can keep it and quit, or else you can come back later and try to double your money. You may even get a crack at 5 or even $10,000. So you go over there and sit on his lap and think about it. And thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Groucho.
Groucho, Edith Winslow and Louis Rich are waiting to talk to you. I doubt if you'll remember, but I know you personally invited both of these people to be on the show tonight. So, folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. You say I invited both of you to be on the show? Edith, when did I invite you to be up?
You called me last week on the telephone. I had written you a long letter, which you liked.
You did?
Uh-huh.
You're not the girl who wrote me that fancy letter some weeks ago, huh?
Yes, I am.
George. He has charge of my mail. I have charge of his female. George, you got a letter out there? As I recall, I found your letter very intriguing, Edith. How'd you happen to write it?
Well, I just picked up, a whole lot of magazines and newspaper, and I composed the letter, and then I cut all these words out. And
You know, if you really wanted to do something different, you should have had yourself gift wrapped and sent to me. There's the letter, George.
I have it right here.
Yeah, but I haven't.
There you are.
Oh. I don't know whether you can... This is a very ingenious... It's one of the longest letters I've ever received. You want me to read this? She says, my name is Edith Winslow. I'm a 23-year-old wife... married?
Yes, I am.
Do you make a practice of writing to strange men, and you're a married woman?
Well, I don't write to too many strange men. No.
Well, how many about?
About one. You.
You mean I'm the only one you've ever written to?
Yes.
And is your husband aware of this?
Yes, He knows.
Did this arouse any jealousy in him? Or does he regard me as perfectly safe?
I think he thinks you're pretty safe, you know.
I hope you don't. That's the unkindest cut of all. Now, your name is Louis Rich, huh?
It is.
And are you really rich?
I haven't got a cent.
You're poor but frank, is that it? Did I invite you to be on the show, Mr. Rich?
You certainly did.
I can remember inviting Edie Winslow on the telephone last week, but when did I invite you?
Why, I was on your show 7 years ago, Groucho, and you told me to come back in 7 years, and here I am.
7 years ago? Why should I say such a thing, Louis? Why should I be interested in having you back in 7 years?
Well, I don't know. I must have pleased you at the time.
Well, you please me now. How old were you 7 years ago?
87.
And that was 7 years ago. Well, that makes you an easy 94, doesn't it? Louis, I'm glad to see you again. To what do you attribute your exceptional health and vitality and bounce?
Well, you may be surprised, but the word is peanuts. I've eaten peanuts for an ounce of a day for over 75 years.
Well, do you live in a circus? Or... Well, why peanuts? Why not yogurt or pickles or bananas or...
Because I have discovered that peanuts has more food value than any other stuff that grows on the face of the earth.
Is that so?
And I advise you, young man, to eat peanuts.
Well, after eating peanuts every day for 80 years, I'm surprised you're not shell-shocked. Do you have any other health habits that we should know about?
Well, I drink a pint of port wine for my dinner every night.
Pint? Didn't you get drunk doing that?
Well, to be truthful, I split the pint with my wife.
Edie, are you always as pretty as you are now? Don't you think she's a beautiful girl?
Oh, she's a wonder.
Well, thank you. Am I always?
Yeah, are you always this pretty?
No.
You don't think you're pretty?
Well,
I think all girls, no girl thinks they're pretty. Really, when they get home alone and they look at themselves in the mirror without the makeup. You work?
No. Well, I do, but not, I don't get paid for it.
What kind of a peculiar job are you holding?
That's why, you work.
You think that's work?
Uh-huh.
Congratulations.
Hey, I never get sick of looking at
Oh,
you.
for heaven's sake.
Give him $50.
Well, what was the word you said?
I don't know. What was the word?
Who cares? Get back in the cage.
I don't even know what I said.
Don't you think she's cute?
She sure is, yes.
We've had her up there for 11 years.
11 years.
How'd you meet your husband, Dee Dee?
He was going with my friend, and I was going with his friend. And his friend went out of town, so he took that opportunity to come up to see me, and we started going together. And then about 3 months later, we got married.
I admire his loyalty. As soon as his friend got out of the house, your husband ducked in, huh?
Sort of like that.
Well, that'll teach him to double-cross his friends, and he got hooked, too.
Yeah.
Are you married, Louis?
I
Oh,
am.
yes, you are. You split your wine every night with your wife. How long you been married?
53 years. I'm married late in life.
You were tough to catch. You didn't get married till you were 41, huh?
41.
Why did you wait so long?
Well,
Were you scared of it?
no, it happened like this.
Was it the peanuts made you very smart?
The girl that I finally married, I first met in the Anthropological Building in the World's Fair in Chicago in 1893.
You mean she was in a cage?
No, but we were both looking at the monkey cage. Then we looked at each other, and then we spent the day together, and then I dated her for dinner the next day. And in my exuberation, I'd forgotten her address, and I started to go for it. I didn't see her for 11 years. I met her 11 years afterwards by accident.
And she was still in front of the monkey cage?
No. And so a little while after that, we got married.
Well, that's charming.
But in the meantime, she thought I was a four-flusher, but I didn't meet the date. And she got married and was widowed and presented me with a beautiful 8-year-old daughter.
Well, that sounds
8-year-old
good.
daughter.
And how old is the daughter now?
Daughter's 60-odd something, I forget. 60 years.
Still a kid, huh? Where does she go to school, Louis?
School?
Yeah. My daughter goes to school. Why doesn't yours?
Her grandchildren go to school, and my great-grandchildren go to school, but not her daughter goes to school.
Well, I got mixed up. I lost you along the way, sir. Are you retired, Louis?
Retired? No, I'm a real estate man, and I'm in business on Larchmont Boulevard every day of the week.
Well, that's wonderful. You're a remarkable man, Louis, with a remarkable point of view. Now, Louis, if you had to do it all over again, would you make any changes in your life?
Not one iota. I would not change one thing. I have always lived only for today. I didn't know any tomorrow. I couldn't live tomorrow, and I couldn't live yesterday. All the time there is now, and I made the best of the now.
That's very smart. You say you live just for today. Well, that's smart. Only today always seems to be worse than yesterday. And I don't even think of tomorrow until it's yesterday. That way it seems better than today. Swinburne. Well, I'd like to go on talking, but to such a charming pair. But we have to stop because it's time to play You Bet Your Life. And we want you to win some money. You selected river cities of the United States. I'll ask you some questions. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000.
Hey.
Are you ready?
Ready.
On what river is the city of Omaha, Nebraska located?
Missouri.
That's right.
You now have one right.
On what river is the city of El Paso, Texas located?
Rio Grande.
Good.
Rio Grande.
Good.
That's true.
You now have 2 right. Get the next 2 right, and you'll have $1,000.
On what river is the city of Little Rock, Arkansas located?
Arkansas River.
That's right.
You now have 3 right, 1 more, and the 1,000 is yours.
On what river is the city of Bismarck, North Dakota located?
Missouri.
Missouri is right. Take the
You got
money.
4 in a row, you won $1,000.
Well, you won $1,000. You can keep it and quit, or else you can come back later at the end of the show and try to double your money. You may even get a chance at $5,000 or even $10,000. So go over there and sit down with Louis. And Louis, behave yourself. And thanks for being on the show.
That means that both of our couples can try for the double chance at $5,000 or $10,000 tonight. And now for the big question. Don Drysdale and his wife have already decided to keep the money they've won so far. But here are Louis Rich and Edie Winslow to tell you their decision.
Now, you won $1,000 so far. If you decide to try for the big money and you failed, you wind up with a total of $500. What are you going to do?
I think I want to keep what I've got.
You're going to keep yours, huh?
I'm a chicken.
I wish I could keep what you've got, too. And what are you going to do, Louis?
I'm going to play the limit.
You go on. Huh? You sit down over there and watch this. Well, we're giving you 2 chances at the wheel, Louis, so think of a number between 1 and 10.
I'll take number 10 and number 4.
Number 10 and 4. 10 for $5,000 and 4 for $2,500. And if any other number comes up, the question is worth $1,000, right? I'll give it a turn. You're no veteran of it. Did we have this right?
Oh, look at it.
You think we can't give away money, too, eh? Your numbers were 10 and 4, and it landed on 10 for $5,000. So this question is worth $5,000, right? Now, if you lose, He gets how much? He gets $250. Quite a jump. Back in the 1930s, the giant airship Hindenburg started a regular commercial run across the Atlantic. But her maiden voyage ended in tragedy. For $5,000, where did the Hindenburg meet disaster? Take your time and think about it. All right, what's your answer?
Lakehurst, New Jersey.
Well, it's Lakehurst, so you've won $5,000. What are you going to do with all that money?
Well, all my creditors are listening on this show, and they'll be on my neck way ahead of the revenue man.
Oh. I'm glad you won the money. Congratulations, and thanks for being with us. You're a credit to humanity.
Thank you, and you're a credit to the art.
Thank you.
Be sure to tune in next week, same time, same station, for Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. Brought to you by your DeSoto Plymouth dealer. And don't forget to listen to You Bet Your Life every Wednesday night on radio.